today I'm going to be talking about A Golden Fury by Samantha Coe. And you may remember this book from one of my LitJoy Crate openings, but that is where this came from. And I've been getting through all of my LitJoy Crate books, so I'm very excited. This was an interesting read. So this book tells the story of Thea, and Thea is the daughter of an alchemist. She's been raised by her mother in France, and her mother is the alchemist of whom I was speaking. And Thea's mother develops the Philosopher's Stone, the ability to create the Philosopher's Stone. But in so doing, her mother kind of loses her mind, breaks the stone or elixir thing that she was working on, and also attacks Thea and nearly kills her. So her mother is kind of locked away, kept away from Thea, and Thea is sent to go live with her father in Oxford in England. Her father, by the way, doesn't even know that she exists, but she gets sent off to Oxford. Her mother had lied to the father and said that she had lost the baby, and the two have been split for years, so Thea has never met her father, does not know him, but suddenly she has to go live with him, and he has no idea that she exists and that she's coming to live with him, so surprise! She gets there and gets to meet her father. It takes them a while to get the dialogue kind of going that "Ham, your daughter," and he's very shocked by this, but does come to accept it. We learn that her father is a professor, but he's also a bit of a scientist and an alchemist, and he has this boy that's working with him that can't be a student, but is kind of like his student slash apprentice thing guy. His name is Dominic, and Dominic immediately befriends Thea, and the two become close. Thea, meanwhile, is trying to reach out to her mother's former apprentice, Will, that she kind of had a thing with, and she thinks that if things don't work out with her father, or if she doesn't like living there, she can go and live with Will. The two can be together and they can be in love. Dominic, meanwhile, is like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And on top of all of that, there's that whole background of the Philosopher's Stone and developing the Philosopher's Stone. There are different groups of people that are really interested in creating the Philosopher's Stone and having the power that the Philosopher's Stone would allow them to have. And so they're all trying to get that recipe and develop it. And really, Thea kind of has a lot of those secrets. So they are also interested in getting Thea and having Thea on their side. So it gets like crazy. There's a lot of kind of warring factions, and you do finally get to meet Will, and is Will all that he's cracked up to be? At least we do have one character that is more like you can trust that character, and that's Dominic, but the other characters in the book, you never know how truthful they're being and how much they're just trying to use Thea, and it's very complicated. So it does come down to whether or not Thea is going to use the knowledge that she has to develop the Philosopher's Stone, in spite of knowing that it drives people to insanity. I don't know. For me, that's a pretty big risk. You know, it made her mother want to kill her. But at the same time, if she does not do this, then she has her friends and loved ones being threatened. And so she really does have to make a big decision. Is she going to move forward and try to create the Philosopher's Stone? Is she going to do just enough in order to try to find a way out of this situation? And even if she does get out of this current situation, how would she be free of the people actually forcing her to make the Philosopher's Stone? Wouldn't they just go after her and her loved ones again? So it's all just this very complicated, emotionally driven story. Again, there's the whole romance aspect that is her romantic interest worthwhile, or is he using her? And you know, you have to read it to the end to find out how everything plays out. And also, will she have the ability to fix things and save her mother, who again is insane right now due to the effects of the Philosopher's Stone. What I really liked about this book is, as far as I can tell, it's a standalone. And I love having a good standalone story. It's also very quick, so it did not overwhelm me in any way. I would say this is also not a story that I would be like, oh, this is my favorite and everybody has to read it. I did think it was good though, so this would be kind of like a mid book for me, like maybe a 3. I enjoyed the read of it. I liked a lot of the characters. I liked trying to work out the best course of action for her and whether or not she was going to do that, if she was going to get swayed by certain things, if she was going to be able to free herself from the forces impacting her life. I liked that whole thing. I just wouldn't say that I loved the whole thing. I liked it. I would say, yeah, you know, if you want a quick read, that's just a standalone. You could read it, get it over with, but also have an okay time reading. That would be a Golden Fury. I do think it fits that very well. I think some people might enjoy it more than other people. If it sounds up your alley, you know, this may end up being a 4-star read to you, maybe higher, but for me it's more like a 3, and I think that's fine. It doesn't even have an exciting inside cover if you wanted to see it again, because this was my LitJoy Crate exclusive edition. There was this artwork inside, but even that's like, it's not that exciting. It's just the doing some work, you know, doing her thing as an alchemist in training. I will say I was really intrigued when the book first began with like her thoughts on Will and like writing letters and the letters that she wrote back and forth. I was really intrigued by that part of the story and wondering if Will would be the savior, or, you know, if there were nefarious things at play. And I like when that happens, when you're not sure of characters and like you have to meet them and see them develop in order to get that full story. I want to get into like things I can't talk about without getting into spoilers, because there's so many little like interconnected stories that happen, and I liked that part. I did. That's why I would still say it's worth a read, especially for a book that's quite as short as it is. Just trying to think how many pages this was. Let me see. 337 pages. So I mean, this is a pretty quick read, but there was a lot of nuance and, well, stories in there. So it was a fun journey, and I did enjoy it. Still gonna only rate it a 3 though. So if it sounds like something you would be interested in, you can pick up a Golden Fury. You know, either buy it or borrow it. I always recommend borrowing. Most people have libraries nearby, and there's an audiobook of this available as well as the ebook. So your library might have that as well if you don't want the physical book. Yeah. I think it does fit this. There's little quote on the back about what it is. An intricate tale of ambition and sacrifice, loyalty and betrayal. Yeah, that to me sums it up. And that is it for this video. Until next time, bye.